Hey guys, welcome back. Dino Pereira here. If you are new to this channel, my name is Dino Pereira and I am a software engineering undergraduate of Java Institute, and it's been like some time I started learning programming, so I want to share what I learned from my lectures to you guys out there in the world who are interested in the field of software engineering. So I created my own channel, and in this days I am sharing content mostly which is regarding to web programming and database management systems. So I discuss concepts which are related to database management systems and web programming through questions. So I discuss both the answer and the question in the relevant videos. So today we have question number 24 of the web programming video series. Let's go check it out. So this is question number 24 of the web programming video series. So in this question I am supposed to make this simple design. So this simple design I am supposed to make without using Bootstrap. So it's a bit of a challenge, but you are assigned to design this interface using my own CSS. So I use my own CSS to develop this interface. So, and you are supposed to show these fields to the user: the product name, the category, the brand, the model, the quantity, the price per unit, and the expiry date, and also the image of the relevant product to the user. So let's go check out how the answer works. So I'll click on view answer. So here I have the interface which I designed for the question. So you have the input field, you have the enter product input field here, the category field here, the brand, the model, and the quantity. This is a number field, so you can enter numbers in this field. And you have the price field, you can enter numbers here also. So, and here you can place the expiry date of the relevant product, and you can choose an image of the relevant product. Say if you have a Milo or milk packet, you can upload the relevant image of the product using this field which says choose file. So, and you have a add product button. So let's check out how I did this design without using Bootstrap, using my own CSS. Let's go check it out. As you guys can see, this is my code. So especially you can see here I haven't connected any Bootstrap files here. Here this is the here you have my style sheet which I use my own CSS. Here it says style24.css. That's my CSS file. So these are my own CSS I use to make the responsive nature of the relevant interface. So this interface that I designed is fully responsive. So once you change the size of the browser, the interface automatically fits onto the size of the browser, no matter the size of it. So that responsive nature I designed using Media Queries. Media Queries is actually a substitute for Bootstrap. So if you are not allowed to use Bootstrap, or if you don't have the Bootstrap file, you can use Media Queries. So devices which are in the range of 0 pixels to 499 pixels gain the CSS of these contents. So the class with the header div gains this CSS, and the class with the form div gains this CSS, and like the other classes. And also devices which have a pixel range of 500 pixels and onwards to larger devices, you have this CSS applied. So this is how I design the responsive nature of the interface. And as you can see, this interface is fully designed using divs. So each and every element is embedded inside a div. So I have named the divs using classes, so I can distinguish them, and also I have used some comments, so it makes the always simple and it's very easy to check bugs and errors in the HTML file. We have applied multiple classes. As you can see, there's a space between these class names. That means this new gains the properties of the CSS which is inside both these classes. And I have applied inline CSS to these to some of the divs, and some I have given the class names, and some I have used the internal CSS method. So there are three ways you can apply CSS: the external, the internal, and the inline CSS. So I have used only the inline CSS and the external CSS files, external CSS methods. So input fields also I have used inline CSS mostly, because some of the input fields are different than the others, because some are date fields, some are password fields, some are text fields. So I had to give different properties to these fields. So the fields which are the same, I gave the same properties, but the fields which are different, I gave inline CSS to make them different, because if I apply the same class, the same properties will be embedded on the classes. So this is the basic design that I designed without using Bootstrap. And without using Bootstrap, how did I make it responsive? The answer is I used media queries for that. And the most important thing is the main part of this question is how I design this color gradient, the color gradient background. This is not an image, this is not an image I downloaded from the internet, and also this color gradient is applied to both the button and the background. So how did I do that? So I use the property which is called background image. That means the properties which you are going to use for the background. You can't use background color, because you can apply only one color using background color. You can't apply multiple colors. You can't give a color variation to the background. So you must use background image. And to the background image, I have given the property the linear gradient. So the combination of these three colors makes up the background. You have the RGB values. You have the separate RGB values. That means how much of red pixels, how much of green pixels, how much of blue pixels. As you can see here, you have much actually same number. You can take this as nearly equal. See, once these are nearly equal, you get a color like this, and once according to the combination of these RGB values, you get this color. According to the combination of these RGB values, you get this color. So according to these colors, I have designed the background, but there were some problems. That means the same color gradient was repeated once I gave on the linear gradient. So what I did was I gave the background repeat as no repeat, so the color won't repeat, and the background position as center, so the whole background comes under the center. So once you change the size of the background, that means once you shrink, if you shrink it, it goes onto the center. So once I use the colors, it spreads from the center onto the corners. And also I gave the background size to cover, because I don't want any white spaces or anything. I want the whole background to be colored using the color gradient. And also the background attached to be fixed. So once I use the elements inside the background shouldn't move here and there. So I use background attachment fixed. So once you use the elements, you can position the elements wherever you want without affecting the background. And I also gave a margin of 0 pixels, so it won't allocate any space for applying for using the element. So if you don't use this margin, what happens is it keeps a certain margin. If you check the inspect in the page, if you right click on and click on inspect, you get these properties here. And here, as you can see, the margin, I have allocated the margin 0, so it won't allocate this space. But if you don't give margin 0, what happens is it allocates the space. So like, I can't do my design. So this is how I design this basic interface using my own CSS without even looking at the Bootstrap file. I just design my own CSS. So this is the end of the video 24 discussion. So I'll meet you guys in the next video. That means question number 25 discussion. So I'll meet you guys then. Bye guys.